This is Anthony, and of course, I'm with my co host Jill, and this is another round of Second Take. And I'm going to start off with college football today, and I wanted to talk about Texas, Oklahoma, and I'm pretty sure they lost, right, Jill?
Uh, yes. I'm allowed to have my rant. Y'all know I have a rant every week, it seems like, because I have a lot to say. So, yes, Texas lost to Oklahoma 31 to 26, and I'm pretty sure Oklahoma was like a 17-point favorite. So I'm pretty proud of that. Texas came out, we looked really strong. It was a cold game, like 50 degrees in Dallas, early game, but Texas was on there, and we looked good. Offense, still same problems, but first drive, we got a first down, and everyone's looking around like, did we just get a first down? And we did. We got a first down, and that's so new to us because we haven't done that in like a really long time. So we got our first down. We started off strong. I think we got a field goal first drive, so we're up 3-0. Defense looked good. Defense did a really good job of just holding Trevor Knight. Trevor Knight did not look like himself. Um, so, there's a lot of pluses to this. Special teams was horrible, horrible. A lot of work that needs to be done about special teams. Definitely. This has been a problem. It's going to continue to be a problem. But all in all, I'm extremely proud of how we played. We definitely should have won. We got a touchdown with 4 minutes left. That put us at 26 points. OU was still at 31. And unfortunately, we let them. They were on third down on their drive after our touchdown. They got the first down, and that's when it was over. Because if we had stopped them, we could have scored, probably won the game. And I was holding on to that hope, but then I see the clock just going down. I think we got the ball back with like 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left. We tried to get something going. Tyrone didn't even try to do the Hail Mary, which is probably my first go-to play. That's what I do on NCAA. All I do is a Hail Mary because it works all the time, but not obviously in real life. Regardless, it was a good game by Texas. OU fans were worried, very worried. They play Kansas State this weekend. Kansas State has gotten really good. Some OU fans came up to me afterwards and said, OU really does suck. And I was like, I'm so glad you admit it. Y'all do suck. So they think they're going to lose this weekend. Even OU fans, diehard OU fans, think they're going to lose this weekend. So don't expect to see OU as top rank anymore. I mean, I don't think they deserve to be as highly ranked as they are after this close of a call with Texas, an unranked team. But Texas really had a great game. Started off Strong's era against OU. So hopefully next year we get the win. It was a really hard game to lose because it was so close. But Texas fans stayed till the very end. I was so proud. Everyone stayed. The eyes of Texas were chanting Texas fight till the end of the game. It was a great environment, and I can tell the guys really on the team just really appreciated how the fans were. We appreciated how hard they played. We still have our quarterback issue, and something I just was telling everybody, I said, imagine how good John Harris and Malcolm Brown would be if we had played them before their senior year. Just let that one sink in. The other issue was the offensive line. Very young, as we all know. Sooner fans around me are like, don't worry, they'll be great in a few years, but I'm really sick of us saying we'll be great in a few years because it hasn't happened. But this was a very promising game. We have Iowa State this weekend, which should be an easy win at home. But the rest of the schedule is just not looking good. For us to be a bowl contender, which I was talking to my friend about today, we would need 4 more wins, and I don't know if we can have those wins because I don't think we're going to beat TCU or Kansas State or Oklahoma State. So this isn't me being pessimistic. It's me being real. I'm a real fan right now. I'm telling y'all the truth. It hurts. But, I got my horns up till the end. I was so proud of how hard we played. And OU, you're not even going to get away with this next year. Remember last year. Remember what we did. And it's going to happen again next year because y'all have nothing compared to us.
No, and I agree. Texas did play pretty well, and I think you guys have progressively gotten better as the season has gone on, even though you haven't pulled out games. And, Oklahoma is doing pretty bad. I think even though they're still ranked, I think they're going to drop, like you said. And speaking of TCU, they had a really close game with Baylor last week. And Baylor did pull out the win, 61-58. But TCU, they look like they could have won, and they look like they're actually for real this time. What do you think?
Yeah, I was watching that, and I thought that I didn't think that game was going the way it was. I mean, TCU was up by a lot. Like in the fourth quarter, they were up by like 20 something points, and then they just blew it. But It was a weird game. I thought Baylor was about to get trashed because that's how it looked, but
Yeah.
bounce back and
And
yeah,
again, I think we can attribute the win more to Baylor being great than TCU giving it up because TCU played really well throughout the whole game, and Baylor just decided to turn on another switch.
yeah,
As I was watching the game, that's what I felt like.
yeah. I mean, it's showing the Big 12 as a serious contender in every way this year, which is good for us. Yeah, Baylor, we kind of had them on an off day because they didn't dominate us like they dominated TCU at the end of that game, but TCU really did do well, and it was a good matchup. That's all I can really say about it. It was a good matchup, and
And
I mean,
again,
both teams should be proud.
yeah, that goes back to I think Texas is actually playing well. I think they're just not pulling out games because, like you said, Baylor and Texas wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
So I think that they're doing. I think Baylor they're doing really well. TCU is doing really well, and I think Texas. You guys give it a year. I think you guys will be better next year.
Thank you.
And in other football news on college football, Oregon beat UCLA 42-30. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Oregon is a superior team. UCLA is kind of falling off. They have been all year. Miami beat an unknown Cincy, so that's not really big news. I just like Miami, so I want to say that. Um, we also have Iowa State beating Toledo. Iowa State has actually been doing okay this year. That's why I wanted to say that game. They're not a really big football school, but they could be good in the future. Watch out for that. That's my
We
bold
have them this
prediction.
weekend, and I am not worried one bit.
They they've been pretty good, so I'm saying watch out, Jill. But I think they can. I think they can give you a run for your money. Um, that was not much with football news. So we're gonna move on to Stephen A. and Floyd Mayweather, which is a really weird beef because Floyd Mayweather tweeted about Stephen A. a few days ago, and it's weird to me because Stephen A. has done nothing but praise Floyd Mayweather and has shown that he thinks he's the best boxer around. And I find it weird that Floyd Mayweather would criticize him for comments that everyone really wonders. I mean, Floyd's dad even wants him to fight Pacquiao. So I don't get why he would go out and jump on Stephen A. I think Stephen A. was hurt. He looked hurt on first take, and I think it's a disrespect. It's just disrespectful.
I mean, I completely agree. I really wanted to talk about this because I was downright appalled. I mean, so Stephen A. commented saying Floyd wants to give the fans what they want. He always says that, but he's going and fighting these. I mean, he has 2 more fights left, and he's going to schedule other people. All we want to see is Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Everyone wants to see it. We all want to see it. And he's not going to give it to us. And Stephen A. just called him out on that. Floyd Mayweather took to, I think he went to a magazine and was just cussing Stephen A. out. I mean, reading it, expletive, expletive, expletive. It's just ridiculous because this guy has done nothing but defend him. So the other day they talked about it on First Take, and Stephen A., he really did look hurt. He was like, I mean, I was just trying to say he claims he wants to give the fans what they want. This is what we want. I have no hard feelings towards him. Like, I've done nothing but defend him. And Skip Bayless jumped in and was like, I cannot believe he said this about you because you have done nothing but defend him. I have questioned him every single time we talk about him, and you have done nothing but defend him. Stephen A. has always been his biggest supporter. They're friends. They have a relationship. And for Mayweather to be so disrespectful just speaks a lot to his character. Everybody knows Mayweather is very full of himself and can be extremely rude, and that's exactly what this was. He's pushing away his biggest fan. I mean, he's cutting ties with the wrong people, and I mean, it's just not going to be good for his career. And I understand, yes, you're a very masculine guy. You stand up for yourself. You're the best boxer. No one's disagreeing with you. We just want to see you fight Pacquiao because right now you're dancing around it. You're being scared, and everyone's going to say that because that's exactly what it is. And if you want to get all defensive about it, it's because it's true. So Mayweather needs to grow up and stop, like, taking shots at Stephen A. for saying the truth. I mean, it's just a messy situation. No good press for Mayweather came out of this, or boxing in general. So,
No, and boxing is already on the downside. UFC's taking over, and as a Mayweather fan, I'm kind of angered to see it because I've always defended and loved to watch Mayweather box. But after this, I just feel like he really doesn't care about the fans. All
No,
he cares about.
I love Mayweather, but he's so full of himself, it's getting ridiculous. And Stephen A. said it, he only cares about the money, and he does. You check his Instagram, there's pictures of him counting money, like hanging out and all this money. Like, we get it, dude. You're very rich. You're the highest paid athlete, and that's great. But if you want all this money, the Pacquiao fight will pay you better than any other fight you could possibly do. You have 2 more in your career. Like, I mean, it's just, he's just burning bridges with the wrong people, and it's messy. Because I like him, and I don't like to say this, but he's being a jerk to everybody.
No, I totally agree. I mean, all of his closest friends in the past few years have, well, they're not friends anymore. And I'm guessing Stephen A. and Floyd Mayweather, they're not going to be okay with each other because it seems like Mayweather's mad about some comments that were actually in everyone's mind. Because I don't like to say Floyd Mayweather's scared, but as you stated, it's what it is. He wants a perfect
He wants
record.
to end his career undefeated, and the only person who could challenge him is Pacquiao. He's
And he
silly.
won't fight him. So that's why he's not fighting him, I guess. And even worse news, Stephen A. just had a bad week because
Oh,
he predicted the Cowboys would lose to the Seahawks. And he had to do some horrible things on his birthday to him. I thought it was personally funny because the Cowboys went into Seattle and beat the Seahawks on their own turf. I'm going to let Jill rant because I know she wants to say something.
all right, Stephen A., I feel you. Stephen A. bet Skip Bayless. You know, Skip Bayless likes the most annoying teams, including the Sooners, including the Cowboys. It says a lot about him. You know, Stephen A. had to wear a Romo jersey and a Cowboys hat, and I feel for you, dude. I feel for you.
On his birthday. On his birthday. That's the worst part.
I know. So, you know, Cowboys were struggling at the beginning of that Seahawks game. They didn't look all put together. They ended up pulling out the win, which I was downright shocked. I thought Seattle was going to win. Sherman didn't seem to have much of a hold on Dez Bryant, that is. And, you know, that's not good because Dez Bryant's the type that's gonna talk some noise about Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman is just gonna go back on TV and scream that he's the best corner in the game, and that's being questioned right now. So Richard Sherman, this was the game to show out, and you didn't do it.
Yeah, but I do have to defend both Sherman and Dez Bryant. Sherman did catch Dez Bryant on a few catches, and they did acknowledge that during the game. They both acknowledged respect for each other.
Oh yeah,
So I'm glad to see 2 players respect each other.
Those are 2 players that have a bad rep of being very self-centered, so showing that made them more personable. You know, Romo ended up pulling it out. It wasn't like this was a for sure win at any point in the game. Maybe in the last few minutes when Seahawks went for it on 4th down and didn't convert. That was the only time I was like, okay, it's actually over. Because I thought they could have come back at any point in time.
Yeah, no, and they could have, but the Cowboys just learned how to pull it out. I think it's due to new coaching, honestly. And I think it's because the Seahawks people aren't scared of them anymore because San Diego beat them, and San Diego wasn't supposed to be much this year. The Cowboys beat them. The Cowboys weren't supposed to be much. It seems like the only team that can't really challenge the Seahawks was the other team in the Super Bowl, which is the Broncos.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why.
I mean, going into the season, Armand and I both said Seahawks are going to repeat this year. They didn't really lose anybody. It didn't seem like there was any reason why they wouldn't. But clearly we're wrong. But yeah, you're right. Something about the Broncos, it's like a mental game now. They cannot beat the Seahawks.
I think it's just a bad matchup because if you look at all the Seahawks' other games, that they're usually close, but they always blow out the Broncos for some odd reason. But speaking about Dallas and beating Seattle, I also want to talk about DeMarco Murray, who is the top running back in the league right now.
Not the top running back in the league. Let's get that clear. What record did he beat? He beat Jim Brown's rushing.
He tied Jim Brown's record of 100 yards in 6 games.
Okay, dandy. Good for you, dude. Jim Brown's really good, so that's really great. Congrats, DeMarco. Really great job. Best running back in the league? Absolutely not. Let's not forget my boy, Free AP, still the best running back in the league. Doesn't even need to play for him to be the best running back in the league because he's the best. This is him on his little pedestal, and he's going to stay there, okay? So now we're discussing who's the second best, and it's not DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray is DeFumble Murray, and I'm going to keep calling him that. Yes, Skip Bayless called him DeFumble Murray, then named him DeMarvelous Murray. He's not DeMarvelous to me, okay? Yes, very good back. We played him. He went to OU. Followed Adrian Peterson. It makes sense. They're good. But I'm not buying into it. You look at my Eagles, and you look at Darren Sproles and LaShawn McCoy, and that is magic right there. Unfortunately, Darren Sproles sprained his MCL partial tear, so he's out for like 2-3 weeks. But if you look at how they've been playing, it's amazing. And me and Anthony were arguing this weekend about this, and I said, you know what, let's save it for the show. Because I'm saying the only reason he has these many rushing yards is because he's the only back that they're playing. Yes, they play Joseph Randle, but for that little amount of time, and it's DeMarco Murray the rest of the time. Whereas on the Eagles, it's split in half. So both of them are sharing the time. You think if it wasn't just LaShawn McCoy, he would have smoked DeMarco Murray in this little yardage game?
I don't, because
Sproles can do the same thing because there are way better backs than DeMarco Murray. They're more mature, and they know how to play the game better. DeMarco Murray fumbles, and that shows immaturity. And yes, LaShawn McCoy has had the same issue, but at least he owns up to it. He knows it. And DeMarco Murray is still putting himself on this pedestal that he's not on. There is one best.
I'm pretty sure the fans.
That is Adrian Peterson. The second is not DeMarco Murray. He cracks the top 5. But number 2, I'm going to one of the Eagles running backs.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. I'm going to put LaShawn McCoy second because I thought he was first going into this new year. I thought AP had taken a step back. But besides all that, DeMarco Murray is averaging 1.3 more yards per carry than LaShawn McCoy. He has more rushing yards.
Oh, does she want a cookie for that? I mean, what am I supposed to do with that information? Cool, DeMarco. You're the only running back playing. Of course you're going to get more yards. You're not splitting your time.
Even if he's not splitting his time, if he has more yards per carry, LaShawn still, even getting that many carries, would not have that many yards.
Absolutely not. I hope LaShawn McCoy's watching this. LaShawn McCoy, he's challenging you. Because you know what? For the next few games, it's just going to be LaShawn McCoy. So watch how he goes off. Watch what he does. Because Darren Sproles has done nothing but push him further. Because Darren Sproles is an amazing running back. Amazing. When he gets a break, he just goes, and there's no stopping him. LaShawn McCoy has field vision better than most running backs. Okay?
When LaShawn McCoy has over 700 yards in 6 games, you talk to me. Until then, DeMarco's on top.
Because DeMarco's the only one playing. He's the only one playing. And let's not forget the Eagles are still the best. Okay? Not the Cowboys.
I don't know. We're tied. We'll wait till our game. Wait till that week. We will wait till the Cowboys and Eagles play each other. We will see.
It's going to be easy. It's easy money right there. That's the Thanksgiving game. I wish I could go to it, but Thanksgiving, you know? I'm telling you. The Cowboys cannot beat the Eagles. The Eagles are just a better team. I mean, point blank. Done. You know, we have these big tight ends that we actually use, whereas the Cowboys are like, we'll use Jason Witten. But
Escobar had a touchdown. Escobar, our other tight end, had a touchdown too. So
okay, our tight ends get touchdowns too at Texas, and we don't use them. They just get the one touchdown, and it's like, oh, there's your play for the game, and they're like, all right. Anyway, we got Riley Cooper, and we got Ertz, and we got Macklin, and we don't even need Deshaun Jackson. Am I missing him? No, because he's on the Redskins sucking. So that sucks, dude, because you probably should have stayed, but
I'm not going to get into receivers because we know who the Cowboys have at receiver. So we're going to talk about another Dallas Cowboys running back.
Trying to talk to me about Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant. Really?
Let's switch to Joseph Randle, the Cowboys' other running back, who is pretty stupid.
Let me talk. Listen to this. Listen to this, people. Listen. Joseph Randle shoplifted underwear this weekend. This boy makes like $500,000 a year. And he was shoplifting underwear.
He's dumb. That's all I can say about that. He's stupid. No NFL player should be stealing anything. I don't care.
Well, I mean, he's a Cowboys player. Like, how intelligent do you expect him to be?
No comment. I can't say. I'm just gonna wait for our game. I'm just gonna wait for the
Go
Cowboys
Eagles,
Eagles
right,
game.
everybody? Go Eagles. Can we talk about the Eagles? I mean, can we talk about our game?
Let's
Can you
talk the Eagle. Go for it.
read
Go
some
for it.
scores to me?
Read some sports for you. Okay. The Eagles beat the Giants 27-0.
Thank you. I wanted
Yes,
him to say it.
they
Shut
are
out.
the
That is
Giants.
a shutout, okay? 27-0. Dominated. Dominated. And the thing is, the Giants have been on a winning streak. They won 3 games in a row. And I was watching First Take when they were talking about it, and they said, "Oh, the Giants looked awful. It looked like men against boys. Giants being the boys, obviously." And I mean, it was easy, easy, and we weren't even trying to run up the score. We didn't. I mean, it just happened that way. It's not my fault. And sadly, this one actually really upsets me because I love Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz tore his patellar tendon during the game, and he's out for the rest of the season. Seeing him cry on that stretcher was heartbreaking, and I understand the knee stuff, and I feel for you, dude. I hope he gets better soon because that really sucked, and, like, no need for that injury to happen. That was like if he had caught that ball, it would have been their touchdown, but instead they got shut out, and you're looking at the Giants, and the Giants they got some problems. But Eagles, no problems.
Okay, so Jill's become a little delusional about the Eagles having no problems thing. So we're gonna get off NFL and actually go back to college because we need to talk about Jameis Winston and Todd Gurley both being under investigation for signing autographs for money. Winston just can't get a break, and Gurley, having a very great season this year, has pretty much put his career in jeopardy if he gets suspended.
All right, let me start with Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is an idiot. Jameis Winston reminds me of Johnny Manziel. Jameis Winston cannot handle this spotlight, nor is he mature enough to ever be in the league. He is losing his draft stock right now. His draft stock is going way down because nobody wants this problem. I said the same thing about Johnny Manziel, and I'm saying it again right now. Jameis Winston is too immature to be in the limelight. He has had issues after issues. They're still investigating that sexual assault, and now they're doing this about him selling autographs. You know the rules. Sexual assault, that is just a rule of life. So you're just dumb in that respect. But for you to violate the biggest NCAA rule that there is, you are an idiot, and I feel absolutely no pity for you. As far as Todd Gurley, Georgia player, he is probably the top Heisman candidate this year, and now he's probably done for the season because of this. Same thing, selling autographs. Dude, you know this rule. You know it. Everybody knows it. You don't even need to play a sport to know this rule. Everyone knows it. You cannot sell merchandise. Plain and simple. It's that easy. I don't care if you're low on money. You're a college student. That's what college is. Being low on money. Sucks, dude. Sucks. Join the rest of us, okay? You had no reason to do this, and the NCAA is going to punish you as they see fit, and you deserve it because you broke the biggest rule there is. I mean, break a smaller rule. If you want to be rebellious, do something stupid. Little and stupid. That's not going to ruin your season. That Heisman was in your pocket, and you blew it, Todd Gurley. And then the thing that makes me laugh, Johnny Manziel tweets, "Free Todd Gurley." This is why I cannot stand this boy, okay? You did the same thing. Somehow Johnny Manziel got that swept under the rug, and I will forever not understand that. But I'm glad to see the NCAA is being like, okay, these might be two of the best players in college football, but we're still going to investigate this, and they're going to be suspended. I mean, Jameis Winston, not yet, but Todd Gurley, we're assuming is done for the season. It's stupid. These guys are stupid. I feel no pity for them. They deserve everything the NCAA will give them. I mean, grow up. Like, do you expect any NFL team to want you when you're breaking rules like this? They don't want you. You're dumb.
So I have nothing to say because Jill said it all. This has been our Jill's Rants edition of Second Take. And I have one more thing to say before we go. The Royals did advance to the World Series, and they will face the winner of the Giants-Cardinals game. So good job to the Royals. They somehow got to the World Series.
Do I sense a little bit of bitterness towards the Royals?
Tiny bit, but it's okay.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Still bitter that the Yankees are not in it. I'm just going to pretend we were just too good to be in the World Series this year. But, yes, congrats to the Royals. Baseball's coming. Coming to an end. Basketball 13 days away till tip-off. Yes, I'm excited.
And Kobe's looking good. I've seen him. He's looking pretty good. I think he's going to return to superstar form.
I know he's looking good. I know he's looking good. Swaggy P. Nick Young broke his wrist or stress fractured or something, so I don't know what his deal is right now. But
guarding Kobe too, so.
Yeah, Kobe will do it. Like, you can't. How are you gonna guard Kobe? You're gonna break a bone, duh. But yeah, Laker Nation, watch out for us because we're gonna be on the top. Yankees and Longhorns let me down with the hopes of a championship, but I still got the Eagles and the Lakers giving me hope. So please, guys, I really need a championship this year. Please vote. Please support my team so we can get there. I'm really sick of not getting anything.
I agree. I want the Lakers to win again, but the Cowboys should win for the Eagles. So.
And we're done here today. We're done here.
All right, this has been another episode of Second Take. We'll see you next time.